Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm here, I got the Fission time lapse, Eagle McMahon Fission dimension, and the new trail. And we're about to test them out for you guys. Let's get it. So, pre-thoughts on the discs. The trail, it feels kind of like maybe a farther crave. It's that first 10-speed in MVP's lineup, and it just feels amazing. It's a 10.5 -1.1. It's that 10-speed just feels really good in your hand. Just that small rem width. I'm really excited about this one. This one might be the best amateur driver in MVP's lineup, because most people, unless you're throwing over 400, doesn't need more than a 10-speed as it is. But this thing feels awesome. Can't wait to throw it. Second one I'm going to be trying out today is the time lapse. I bag a time lapse. These ones are kind of like the people's time lapses. They're Fission. They're just way more flippy than the original run. I mainly just brought it out because I want to test it against the Eagle dimension and see which one goes farther, because the time lapse should be a lot more flippy than the dimension, but Fission plastic always tends to be a little more flippy, and this thing just is sweet. It's a bomber, nice hyzer flip, goes far. So I wanted to bring it out and test it today for you guys as well. And what I'm excited for, the dimension. Eagle McMahon's new Fission dimension, the Wind Dragon. It just feels amazing. Honestly, I have smaller hands, and normally I don't like above 12 speeds, but this one's a 14.5, and it doesn't feel bad at all. And I think it's going to go so fast that even though it might have more stability than the time lapse, it might come close to the time lapse's distance, but have that more stability at the end of the flight. But we'll see. I'm going to throw all these in the field, multiple angles, test them out. Let's get it. So I'm just going to show you guys the profiles. This is the Eagle McMahon Dimension Fission. It's got a little bit of dome, not really a pop top. Really wide rim. Yep, that's the profile of the dimension. Here is the time lapse. As you can see, a lot of dome, a little bit of a pop top. The parting line on these are really low, which makes them more flippy, but that dome makes it just push. Really like these bad boys. And then here is the new 10-speed in MVP's lineup, the trail. It's got a little bit of dome. Feels great. That 10-speed always just feels good in your hand. Just that smaller rem width, you can really get the accuracy and distance on them bad boys. Alright, let's go to the field and let's test it out. Alright y'all, here we are. I have two dimension Fission dimensions. I have two of the new trails, and I have two time lapses. I'm just going to give them all a handful of throws out in this field and let you guys know my thoughts. So far, this trail just feels so good in the hand. First MVP's 10-speed. I really think they upped their quality on drivers this year. I've always thought MVP had the best putters and mids, but man, the drivers this year was great. So I'm going to give both these trails a throw. I think they should pretty much be like just a farther crave, but we'll see. It's about 420 or so to that field, maybe a little farther. I'm just going to give all these a rip kind of flat and see how they fly, and then coming back I'll throw them on different angles for you guys. Let's go with the orange trail first. Okay, a little more stability than I expected. There is a decent little tailwind. Here's the special edition one, the orange, or the blue. I'm gonna try to throw it a little more left. Oh yeah, that one flipped up a little bit. Dang, for a 10 speed, that kind of went far. Like it just kept gliding. All right, next up, I'm super excited for the dimensions, the Fission dimensions. I bag a normal dimension and it's a straight meat hook. It's the most overstable thing in my bag. I can throw about 400 on a good day. So that's about my arm speed. I'm not sure what the actual speed is. These are lighter weights, 158. They're both 158s. So I'm really hoping that they kind of get like a stand up and just keep pushing straight. There is a little bit of a tailwind, so they might stable up a little bit. Throw the purple one first. Oh my God. I'm on the baseball field. That's over 400. That's crazy. That thing is nothing like the normal dimensions. That push, and that's a tailwind too. That pushed straight, turned a little bit and faded. Here goes the yellow one. Honestly, these are nice. Wow, that is fast. I almost hit the fence on the bay. That is crazy. That's actually insane. Those are probably most definitely making the bag. These are already in the bag, but they're a little too flippy when there's any type of wind that's not tail. So these are like really highs or flippy for me. But time lapses, I'm gonna compare them to that, see if the distance is even close. I'll put the distances up on the screen. Hey, look at that. Yeah, that hit the field too. But these are just such a different flight. Honestly, I think both could make the bag. I'll tell you why when I walk to pick up those discs. Let's give it one more rip. That one's nose up. Honestly, nose up and still almost reach the dirt. All right, let's take a walk and talk. So as I'm walking to pick up those certified bombs, first initial thoughts. The trail was a little more stable than I thought it would be. Granted, there was a tailwind, so we'll throw them back the other way, obviously, but it is like a very nice 10 speed that kind of feels like if it beats in a little bit, it'll be literally just a 50 feet farther crave, which I really like because Crave's one of my favorite discs. Those dimensions are crazy. They're so fast, and I mean, it's a pump for me to reach these fields. And those dimensions are nothing like the normal ones where they're just straight meat hooks. I mean, it had a little bit of flip up. It pushed, and even when it started fading, it didn't just die. Like, it pushed forward and faded and got a little good skip too. So yeah, they might just make the bag, folks. Also, the time lapses, like I said, I already bag them, so I know how they fly. But I love them. They're bombers, but they're just not trustworthy when it comes to any type of wind that's not a tail. So honestly, the dimensions and the time lapses might make the bag. We'll see. Let's go look where they landed. So these dimensions both went about the same. Right there's one, and right there's the other. And this baseball field is to the dirt just over 4. So these have to be like 420, 430, maybe even a little farther. I'll put the distances up on screen, but these things absolutely bomb. They're nothing like the actual dimensions, which I love. These are so workable. If you guys have, yeah guys, so I just picked them all up. These are actually insane. I come here for field practice and I just ranged it also just to make sure, and from like field to field, it's like 420-ish, and I threw like halfway into the field with these dimensions, which has to be like 430, 440. It was a tailwind, so that helped me a bit, but I really, for an overstable disc that is a reliable fade back, these things bomb. Very workable. So I'm gonna give them all one more throw back down. It's a slight headwind this time, see how they hold up. Let's start with the trails again. I'm not gonna do a bunch of different angles. I'm just gonna throw them how I think they should be thrown. I might do like a video out on the course to show you different angles of the discs, but I'm gonna throw them all one more time down there. We'll walk, we'll pick them up, we'll see the distances, and I'll give you my final review. Let's get it. Trails up first. The headwind's pretty decent, so let's see how these bad boys hold up in the head. I'm gonna try to throw them flat. All right, so that never tried to come back. Granted, it is a -1.1 and it's a headwind. So I'm gonna try to throw it a little bit higher on hyzer this time and see if it has the integrity to come back. Yeah, that's not bad at all. In a headwind, I did throw it pretty nose up, but it went decently far for a headwind. All right, I'm gonna go time lapses this time because I want to end with the dimensions because I'm really excited about those. With this amount of headwind, I'm gonna definitely put these on hyzer and try to get them nose down. Yeah, see that? It's still like a far shot, but that's exactly what I have trouble with these. Like I said, these are already in the bag, and anytime it's any wind at all that's heady, they just do not, no matter how much hyzer I put them on, if I'm cranking on them, they just do not want to come back. So that might be why the dimension makes the bag here. Let's throw the last one. I'm gonna try to give it a lot of hyzer and decent height. Yeah, see, look at that. It did come out at the last second, but that's just like a crazy amount of hyzer. And if I'm being honest, I'm more of a player that likes a little bit of anhyzer anyway. So that's the problem I have with the time lapses, is just they're just too flippy. They don't, unless it's no wind or not that much wind, you can't throw them in a headwind for me. All right, Eagle dimensions, come on baby, let's get over 400. Purple one first. I'm just gonna hit these flat. The headwind died a little bit, but there's still a bit. I'm gonna hit them flat and see how they hold up. Oh, I turned it. Dang, I just turned it into a roller, but it went like 400. All right, that one was on me, I turned it over. Let's try to hit this flat, maybe last throw, and then we'll recap. God, that thing just pushes, bro. It's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go pick those up, give you guys the distances, and recap. So that's my throws on the time lapse, the dimension, and the trail. My honest opinions, they might all three make the bag. Definitely the dimension, because it surprised the heck out of me. Normally I don't like 14.5 speeds, but in this Fission plastic, it's a bomber. 3 out of 4 of the throws went over 400. it's crazy how much of a meat hook the normal Neutron plastic is compared to the Fission, which the only difference is the micro bubble technology in Fission, if I didn't tell you guys. They pump air bubbles into the flight plate, which makes the flight plate lighter, which lets them put more weight onto the rim, which in theory enhances that gyro technology, which is supposed to like increase spin rate and make them fly farther. But I'm a big believer in this Fission plastic. It is just, it's crazy that a 14.5 speed, like I said, I'm nearing 400 feet consistently on my big throws, and this thing just, it bombed. I felt like it was effortless distance. It just kept going, and it always has that reliable fade unless you really turn and burn it. And the only one that didn't go over 400 was kind of my fault. I put it low into a headwind and turned it a little bit myself, and it didn't have a chance. These time lapses, like I said, they're already in the bag. I love these guys, but the only downfall is it is flippy, and in a headwind or any like left to right, right to right, or right to left, it just feels like you have to put so much hyzer on it. And if you're a hyzer guy, maybe these are it. Maybe these are it for you. But for me, they're still going to be in the bag for tailwinds or no wind, because I love these guys, but I just can't trust them on a headwind at all, because I like to give that slight anhyzer and they just don't hold. Maybe long turnovers would be nice. And last but not least, the trail. It is what it is. It's true to its numbers. 10.5, -1.1. The headwind stabled it up a little bit, but it's a great disc. It's awesome for the MVP's first 10 speed. All the James Conrad discs I'm really in love with. Like I said, I really feel like a little bit more beat in, and it's going to fly just like a farther Crave. And the Crave is a staple in MVP Axiom lineup, in my opinion. Everybody has to have one. So yeah, if you guys have a lower arm speed or just want a farther Crave, grab yourself a trail. If you're nearing 400-ish feet or 350 and you just want to push that extra little bit of distance with reliable fade, this Dimension might be the disc for you. If you really don't like the 14.5 feel rim because it's so wide, and you want an MVP bomber and maybe you're only at like 300, 320 feet, this time lapse is nice. Like it is so good. Even though I don't trust it on headwinds, if you guys are hyzer players or you're not quite getting that distance, get you a Fission time lapse. Honestly, my end review of these, I think they're all gonna make the bag. I'm gonna play around with them. My favorite is this Dimension Fission plastic. It just, I can't tell you guys how impressed I am with it. It goes far, effortless, and I know it's gonna come back at the end if I don't turn and burn it myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you can, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys go grab some of yourself and test them out. Leave in the comments, let me know if you have tested them out, which one's your favorite, or what's your go-to bomber. And always remember, stay consistent, be positive, and comfortability is key. Until next time, guys, peace.